Welcome everyone, and thank you for coming to the Space Technology session. My name is Martin Duursma. I'm one of the partners at Main Sequence Ventures. Now, to get us going, I thought I'd start with a few slides to set the scene, and then hopefully that'll get you guys thinking about space and opportunities for Australia to have a leadership position. So let me start by sharing those slides with you, and we'll just work through our normal situation here of Zoom and get it up and running. And assuming I click on the right, here we go. So therefore, hopefully you're all seeing my slides right now. So you may start by asking, why space, and why is space an area that Main Sequence would invest in? Well, there are a few trends that are driving us to this area of opportunity. And the main trend is the rise of the commercial space sector. And this has been fueled over the last 10 years by new, cheaper ways to get into space, namely the development of new launch companies. This has meant that it is now possible for pretty much anyone that wants to launch a small satellite that can do things like Earth observation or communications. And you can get this done for under $2 million, and you can be in orbit in less than a year. And this is a whole different situation than we had previously had, where space was the domain of government with large and expensive missions. So companies like SpaceX have revolutionized the launch business. They can now reliably launch payloads of either hundreds of small satellites or single large payloads of 22 tons to low Earth orbit. Now, in a local context, we've seen the formation of the Australian Space Agency with its goals of fostering the local space industry, enabling international collaboration, and being the regulator for space activities in Australia. The new commercialisation and growth of the space industry led us in the fund to look for opportunities that can leverage that space industry tailwinds that we are seeing right now. Now, when we started the fund 3 years ago, we began running a series of workshops with the CSIRO to bring together research, startups, primes, and customers. The idea being to foster communication between the various space stakeholders and look for investment opportunities. Now, out of one of those early workshops, we found Myriota. This is a company that's doing amazing things in the area of the Internet of Things, or IoT. And this picture here is of the two founders, Alex and David, who spun the company out of the University of Adelaide. Now, you may have heard of IoT. It's basically the concept that the world is hyper-connected. All sensors, devices, and machines can all communicate in a vast orchestra sending real-time data. And this data, this connectivity, is critical in industries like agriculture for monitoring water and temperature and soil, logistics for tracking vehicles and shipments, just to name a few examples. Now, this IoT market has been a long time in the coming, and one of its blockers has been the lack of a universal communication standard. Every IoT-enabled device today has had to use various communications technologies depending on the local geography. Technologies like 4G, 3G, Wi-Fi, LoRa, Sigfox. So you can hear in my voice here, it's already getting complicated. And in all cases, you haven't had universal coverage. The Myriota solution solves this problem as they have developed a radio communication systems with a transmitter it's the size of your fingernail. So it's the size of my thumbnail here. It uses a AA battery, can last for 15 years, and communicates directly to a satellite in low Earth orbit. This enables the device to be able to communicate no matter where on Earth it is, on land or in the ocean. And this company is built on one of Australia's great strengths, and that's in the area of communications technology. This strength was built through our legacy of work in radio astronomy, building out the early Wi-Fi chips, and now satellite IoT. Now, I'm actually very bullish on this company. I think they have a great shot at becoming the global universal platform for IoT communications coverage. And it's not just me saying this. The company has been fortunate to attract talent like Pam Melroy to its board. Pam is well known in the space industry and is ex-NASA, a space shuttle commander, and a program manager at DARPA. And Pam has seen lots of great innovative companies in the space industry. And yet she joined the board on her own words stated, Myriota has some outstanding technology. It's really world leading. So this is another proof point of why we think Myriota will be the world leader in this area. So where does this leave Australia in the global space industry? I think we still have a gap where we have a mission that we are known for and can articulate our place in the global space industry. Where do we want to lead in this global space industry? If you look at other countries, they have some very clear positions. Canada, for example, has the Canada arm on the International Space Station. It's critical to dock and unload spacecraft and do maintenance. New Zealand has Rocket Lab, which is reliably and predictably launching small satellites. India has ISRO, which is the Indian Space Research Organisation. They've developed a set of capabilities of launching satellites, both domestically and for export. And now, amazingly, we have the UAE, a small state in the Middle East, that just a month ago launched their Mars Explorer. That's an amazing achievement given they had started with no space industry just 6 years ago. So they went from zero to hero, and they spent around $200 million building out this space mission. Now, why are these missions important? Well, they inspire our populations. They show the application of STEM, but most importantly, they drive associated investments in the space sector. So what is the leadership opportunity in Australia? By the way, the picture on the right of this slide, that's actually of the NASA Mars Opportunity rover. So I thought opportunity, let's put a piece of equipment there as well that is based on opportunity. So do we want to be the leader in Earth observation or a leader in positioning technology? For example, we're just about to spend $250 million upgrading our GPS system to 10 centimeter accuracy. Do we want to be a leader in low power satellite communications? Or do we want to be the safe and secure place to launch a new generation of commercial spacecraft? So these leadership opportunities will fuel the growth in the local space industry. The Australian Space Agency has an impact intent of growing the local industry to $12 billion, which is about a 3x growth from where we are today and creating 20,000 new jobs by 2030. So with all of this background, I'd like to open up now for discussion and invite you to ask questions or share your views that you may have on what is the leadership opportunity for Australia in the global space industry. Thank you.